Hello, everyone. This is Sprite Laureano. I am the co-founder of the Waterbearers.org, and we are inspiring women who have access to clean water to get it to those who do not. 1 million to be exact in 30 days from February 22nd to March 22nd. And I have with us today one of our amazing Waterbearer team leaders, and her name is Sherry Strong, and she is from Canada, Vancouver, Canada. And she is the author of Return to Food, and she's also the founder of the Return to Food Academy. And I'm so excited and grateful that you are here, Sherry. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. I'm so inspired by what you're doing.
Thank you, and I'm equally inspired by what you're doing, and can't wait to get your book. So share with us a little bit about Return to Food, first of all, and your passion for food.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to be invited to share that. Water is really important to me. I developed a philosophical approach to food because I thought the diet and nutritional model was really helping people develop an unnatural relationship with food, their body, and the planet. And so Return to Food, my little baby, is really about helping people develop a healthier relationship with food, their body, and the planet by developing a more intuitive and philosophical approach to how they actually relate to feeding themselves and nourishing themselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And I have a philosophy called Nature's Principle, which talks about nature tells us what to eat and the quantities to eat it and by how easily it's obtained in nature. So that which is most abundant, we're meant to have most of, harder to obtain, we're meant to have less of it. And if you cannot get it in nature, not only do we not need it, it's harmful to the body and the planet. And so if you look at the hierarchy of what nature provides, air is our most primary nutrient. We can't survive without it. And water is our second most life-giving powerful nutrient. And right now, why I'm so passionate about what you're doing is I feel that water is seriously at threat globally. And I'm lucky I can drive 14 Ks to a spring to get my water, right? But I know there are millions who aren't. And when I saw what you guys were doing, you know, to get water to 1 million women who, I know how I get kind of funny in the summer here. Just in the last year, we've had drought in Vancouver, rainforest. Never before has that happened, right? Mm-hmm. And the trickle was just, I was getting my water, it was just a trickle. And I felt this kind of, and that's nothing compared to what these women that you're reaching are struggling with. And I know they're walking sometimes miles to get their water each day and jerry cans and, things like that. So yeah. I train people to become Return to Food coaches, and I would love to see the vision of them taking what you're doing on as just part of their business model. That would be like a dream for me.
Oh, I love that idea. I love that vision. Thank you for planting that vision. And I second it. And I also thank you for the work that you're doing, because it's really, and it is a very cohesive fit with this campaign and this movement, because it's really about what I hear you saying is that that authentic voice of nature, right? Getting back to that authentic connection and listening to that voice of nature that we've lost, and which is why your work is so important. And so you're also teaching others to do what you do, and you're sharing that and spreading the word. So thank you for that. And would you share with us, what would be a piece of wisdom that you teach others in your work that you could be sharing with us today?
Well, I'll teach one of the philosophies that is in Return to Food, and it's called the consumption concept. And it's so apt for what you guys are doing and the whole thing around water, because the consumption concept, I gave a TED talk on it in Tokyo in 2009. And it's basically the premises is if we had to source our own food in nature, we'd all be eating very differently, right? And I'd probably be getting the water from the waterfall behind me and figuring out a basic form of filtration, then driving 14 Ks from it. So I'm not approaching this from this kind of holier than thou, even though I've got the white kind of angel hair. Yeah, you know, it's about getting us moving to thinking more naturally around food. And I often use the example of the chicken and the egg. And for most people on the planet who are not vegetarian, I ask them, what would you have for dinner tonight? Chicken or egg, or like an omelet? And 90% of people say chicken. And then I say, given the same choice, but you have to go out and source it in nature, and you have to go and find an egg, or you have to go find, catch, kill, pluck, disembowel, bleed, and prepare chicken, how many of you become vegetarian, right? Right? So yeah, exactly. So it really helps getting people on this kind of, this way of thinking. And it's just, and people, when they start to hear the philosophies, they say, oh, well, yeah, that's just common sense. And it's like, yeah, but it's definitely not common practice, right? Mm-hmm. And so getting people to have then the strategies to start to implement this. And when I think about water, and what I'm, you know, I'm just like, every time I think about your project, it fits so well in with the philosophies, because if you had to get water, would you go and make a plastic bottle to put it in? And how many liters of water go into making that plastic bottle, and how many toxins go into the environment in making that plastic bottle? So I'm thinking about these ideas to help people, you know, give $50, like how many bottles of water is that? That's 10 bottles if you're going through the airport, right? Mm-hmm. Cups of coffee, right? That's 10 cups of coffee, right? That you could just give to this project, and give 100 people water for 10 years. Like, who can't make that sacrifice? And in doing so, how many bottles are you going to save from the environment, you know, and xenoestrogens from actually drinking water in plastic bottles, and, you know, all of those things. So for me to have more of that consumption concept in my own life, and the more I try and practice that, the healthier I get, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Yeah. So you can see how I get excited about what you're doing.
And I am so excited about what you're doing and our co-creation. And you said a couple of times in my project, and what's so great is that the truth is it's our project, because as women coming together with this really clear, similar call around the sacredness of water, the sacredness of what we're here doing together, is really what this is all about. So I am so grateful for you to be part of this movement. And so for all of you who are watching, if you would love to support Sherry's team, you can go to thewaterbearers.org/fundraise and click on support a team. You can click on donate. But come with us, come join us, be a part of something that's never been done before, that's very beautiful, that will continue to send ripples of love and shift of consciousness out through the planet. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sherry.
My absolute pleasure, and thank you for, you know, I know you're humble and saying it's the angels, and but you're still showing up and doing the work, so thank you.
Yes, thank you.